recently a commenter commented on one of my posts involving Ada and Emil, and I realized something. They are completely right about what they said. I will post it right here, right now. Just Muse mentioned that their dance moves seem to be similar to a Nordic dance move, which is based off of Norway culture, Denmark, Sweden, Finland, Iceland. So basically implying that Ada and Emil could be one of those three nationalities, or like where they're from. Like Nordic cultures in specific are basically based off of those specific countries. Finland is often forgotten, however, so it's kind of amusing seeing that, and you see like the different cultures or like countries that are based off of Nordic culture. Now this is where my ignorance is feigning in this situation, because while I was doing research I noticed that like there's a difference between Norway and Sweden. Much like if you're from the USA, you will most likely not see the difference between a Mexican and a Guatemalan. Now not to like talk about them and like compare them, but like there is a huge difference between them, as much as there is a huge difference between Norway and Sweden. Basically saying that you can't confuse the two. And we're gonna get down to that at some point. We just need to talk about their dances. That's what I'm mainly focused on. Now, what Ada and Emil did could probably be based off of folk dance, which is Swedish folk dance, Danish, Norwegian, and that's what they called folk dance as well. But they're basically just a formalized dance where like they dance like how Ada and Emil do. They danced in like a pattern formation that like starts early on, I guess, in Ada's situation, where she dances like super slow and like earlier than Emil, while he follows after. And there's different versions of their dances, and I guess that's just like a subtle version of it. And Eddie's did a good job like showing that, but the one thing I do kind of dislike is when they don't explain the nationality behind the characters. They do in other characters, but like sometimes when you see like other characters who are also like, you know, white, they don't usually explain the nationality, which I don't blame them. They're like focusing on the storyline and like they'll just subtly show it. So that's for us to do our research on. And yeah, I noticed that too, which was funny. I thought they were based off of like I honestly thought they were based off of like waltzing or like square dancing, but to see folk dancing being represented, I give them applause on that. I will be showing like the links in the description, because I can't really read a whole like page, because there's a whole page that explains it and I can't really explain too much of it. And honestly, the whole time I was making this video, I was real talk just like trying to figure out how I was going to explain it. But I decided that if I list off a bunch of places that they're based off of, which is here's like 4 of them. There's Danish, Norwegian, Swedish, Finnish, Icelandic, which is amazing. And then there's Scandinavian dance. That's what it's called. It's amazing how there's different versions of it in all 3 of them, plus Finland and Iceland. And Iceland's quite beautiful. I know that Iceland, all of them are kind of based off of like a whole Norwegian cultural basis, but there's Norway and Sweden. We can't forget that. Where was this thing from? Hold on. Yep, Norway and Sweden. So Norway and Sweden kind of go hand in hand when it comes to cultural differences and like their dances. So their dances could be based off of Norway, or could be based off of Sweden. And it's amazing how we're learning so much from these two just by their dance moves. This isn't to say that Ada and Emil could be those, because again, they give a subtle hit on what they could be based off, like what they do. So I'm just saying that like that their dance moves are correlated to those 4 different countries and cultures. Anyways, I'm gonna read this off to y'all. Nordic culture is the culture of Scandinavian region and the Nordic countries. It is characterized by cooperation, egalitarianism. Oh, a new word. I'm gonna go look that up. Egalitarianism. That's what it's called. The meaning of it is the doctrine that all people are equal and deserve equal rights and opportunities. That's amazing. Even the philosophy is egalitarianism, a philosophy of equality. Gotta go back because it just moved. Is a philosophy that values human equality in all aspects of life, such as social, political, and economic rights and opportunities. That is beautiful. Egalitarianism and practicality culture is also one of the most socially progressive cultures in the world. Nordic countries share many values and features in common in their culture life, mass media, and religion. That is amazing. So what does this mean? Is Ada and Emil Nordic? Their dances, as Muse said, is based off of it, but we don't know if they're actually of that background or nationality. And it's never too late to just ask netties about their culture, but knowing netties and knowing how they could show subtle hints, I don't think they would give us the full answer. And honestly, I don't mind. It's okay to make your own headcanons about them because, again, they're fictional characters, but it's okay. But it's also important to note that you gotta respect the culture itself and take this at a grain of salt, because we don't know what they are. In some cases, some people think that Emil could be Mexican, or Ada could be German. We don't know. And based off of who she's based off of, she could be that. We don't know for sure. But their dances, whenever characters do specific dances, those dances kind of hint at who their cultural background revolves around. So it's good to take note of every dance move that every character does. Anyways, moving on. I'm glad I was able to talk about this, and I will end this video, not end it, but I'll end it with this. I hope you guys enjoyed me rambling and ranting about each culture. If I find anything else, I will mention it and talk about it. For now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Okay, it's 3 days later. I just found what countries are part of Nordic culture. Let's list all the countries that belong to Nordic culture: Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Finland, and often forgotten Iceland. I know I just said that earlier, but it's the fact that those 5 countries are part of Nordic culture says a lot. That culture is very, very beautiful and open, and they want to, and it's obvious that they have a cultural appreciation going on. And I don't mean to repeat myself, but I really like that there's a whole appreciation thing going on with this type of culture. I wish this could happen with every culture in the world, but we're progressively getting there, baby steps.